for somebody like me who don't know much about UPSC, just can you give me us an overview about how an UPSC examination would be? You mentioned about self-study, sir. So, what portion of that will be helpful versus enrolling in a coaching institute like yours? For an engineering graduate, because most of our students are engineering graduates, how critical is their grade that they score at the end of the year? So typically, if I start today, like I've graduated today, and what is the timeline that I'm looking at to be, let's say, fully prepared for taking a shot at UPSC? So why there is a need for engineers and doctors now to be, giving such exams? And so I was learning that there are about 250 plus success stories in your institute.
Okay.
So which is your favorite one? Today we have with us the founder of Insights IAS, Mr. Vinay Kumar. And welcome, sir, to RVCE for this podcast.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Thank
you've
you
been
so much.
gracious enough to accept our invitation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for coming. So I learned that you've had some 21 years of experience in the preparation of UPSC students. So how that journey began, sir, for you?
This 21 years of experience is collective experience of myself being an aspirant at some point of time, and then building this institution. This is the 12th year of Insights IAS. So before that, around 8 to 9 years, I was myself an UPSC aspirant. So as an aspirant, I had a different mindset for preparing the examination. Between 2005 to I would say 2011 and 12, I prepared for the examination. When I say I had a different mindset, I had this reading habit since childhood. So since I was in third, fourth standard, I used to read lots of Kannada literature, and then I got into Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, started reading English literature, and I continued that hobby of reading literature. And when I shifted to UPSC preparation, I started reading lots of non-fiction books. The usual method of preparation is that stick to syllabus, stick to coaching notes, stick to standard textbooks. And between 2005 to 2013, the exam was very predictable and the questions were very straightforward. For example, if artificial intelligence or AI agent, so they would say AI agent, write some 100 words on it and then 10 or 15 marks for it. Now the question is not like that. How AI agents are going to transform uh, governance, something like that. So they're very analytical. So my preparation was very analytical. I used to read lots of books, lots of magazines. There is magazine called Economist, New York Times. I used to download these PDF copies, obviously pirated at that time, and prepare. So when I started this institution, I brought that analytical thinking into the UPSC preparation when I created this institution. So luckily for me, since 2013, when in 2013 when the syllabus got changed, they introduced lots of general studies syllabus topics, essay topics, and all of them required certain amount of not certain amount of good amount of analytical thinking. So from the very day one, I realized one can crack this examination only with developing analytical thinking. So for that, they need to do extra reading. They need to read original textbooks. Plus, they must do lots of answer writing practice. So that is how the institution evolved. And I was the one who started this answer writing craze among the UPSC aspirants. So when I was preparing, I started my own personal blog. So I'm basically biology graduate, genetics graduate, but somehow I developed certain basic technical skills and created my own website, insightsonindia.com. So I used to blog a lot, and then I used to write about everything, personal, international affairs, anything that was happening around me, and that gave me good writing skills. And I started introducing those kind of writing skills by giving feedback to the students. So institution evolved, and we got very good result. So collectively, this 21 years into the UPSC somehow has given us a very good advantage. We are kind of number one in South India, and we made Bangalore as the hub of the UPSC preparation. Students from prestigious colleges like yours, RV College, they prefer to come to Insights IAS. Even when they are doing self-study, they come and get the guidance, like with respect to answer writing. So this is the short story about Insights.
So you mentioned about self-study, sir. So what portion of that will be helpful versus, enrolling in a coaching institute like yours?
In fact, wherever I go, I recommend self study. But to do self study for the UPSC examination, if somebody has graduated from, let's say, again, RV College, computer science, or maybe civil engineering, the thing is they cannot suddenly start doing self study for the UPSC. It is totally different field. Lots of humanities topics to be studied, like economics, geography, polity, and culture, art and culture, history, world, and everything, geography, governance. So these are totally new subjects for these people. One can do self study only if they have cultivated the habit of reading about these topics through newspapers or through other books since school days or in college days. So if somebody hasn't done good amount of newspaper reading, if that is not their habit, we recommend them to read any two English newspapers and also one regional newspaper. They can read either Prajavani, Vijayavani. In addition to that, the Hindu, Deccan Herald, Times of India, any reading habit. So once they have this habit, they will know what is happening around them, and they will be able to understand concepts quickly because of the familiarization, and because the thought process will be sharp and fast once they have already got the basics. So biggest mistake people make is that without having this base, now they take the syllabus and they think that they can have this very clinical approach to it. Okay, there is this topic about let us say some concept in geography, let's say plate tectonics something. Now I learn about plate tectonics because I have YouTube, I have some free resources. And then similarly, they will learn about Chalukya architecture or empire. But the UPSC is not in a clinical. So when I say clinical, it is the questions are so interlinked. The questions are so deep and analytical. The questions are so applied. So when you are doing self-study without having any base of general awareness, basic concepts, one, it takes lots of time for you. So it will also become directionless. You don't know what you are doing. You are actually studying. You think you are seriously preparing, but not in accordance with the demand of the examination because you don't know how the competition is today. So if you want to do self-study, first at least for 3 to 4 years, read newspapers, finish basic NCERT textbooks, and then do self-study along with the guidance. You don't need coaching, but at least you need guidance. So that is the way forward.
So for the person who is novice, you say that starting point would be to start with newspaper.
Newspaper, yes, newspaper and NCERT basics. But after graduation, if they want to prepare, so my suggestion is that definitely read newspaper and NCERTs, but coaching is essential to save the time.
Okay. So typically, if I start today, like I've graduated today, and what is the timeline that I'm looking at to be, let's say, fully prepared for taking a shot at UPSC?
Again, that depends on what is your current status. Like if you are a student in the college, so then it will take lots of time because you have to balance with your academics as well as the preparation. So we recommend minimum 4 to 6 hours of dedicated, consistent preparation uh, throughout your academics. If at all UPSC is your dream, if it is full time, so then we say 10 to 12 hours on a daily basis. So if you are preparing full time, 2 years is sufficient for the preparation because during the 2 years you need to cover optional, complete optional, finish entire syllabus not only by understanding and remembering, but with lots of answer writing practice, understanding previous year question papers, and then doing lots of tests. So it requires at least 2 years of preparation. But if somebody is doing graduation, I think because they cannot give adequate attention, they can go for 3 to 4 years preparation. If they start in first year, let them start with 2 to 3 hours, then increase it to 4 hours. Start with NCERT newspaper, and then when they are in the either second or third year, they can go for online coaching. Our institution is nearby, and they can make it hybrid. Weekdays they can take online classes. Weekend they can come to institution, write test in the offline mode, and get the personal guidance from the mentors also.
So, for an engineering graduate, because most of our students are engineering graduates, how critical is their grade that they score at the end of the year. So is it very critical or
It's very critical from the perspective of their own future. I mean, skills perspective and from their own self empowerment perspective. But for UPSC, when they go to interview, they hardly look at their CGPA, their percentage, because sometimes we see 9.6, 9.5 CGPA, but they cannot engage us in intellectual conversation. Technically, they may be very good, but in terms of general awareness, their understanding of the world, application of the concepts they have learnt, and articulation of them effectively, so they fail so many times. But not everyone. Uh, my suggestion is that they should passionately pursue whatever academical choice they have made. If it is biotechnology, computer science, instrumentation, whatever it is, passionately pursue it, but not in its entirety. So within that, try to specialize, go deep into few aspects. Uh, any two key areas which are happening, lots of research is going on around the world, and lots of debates and discussions are happening around those key technologies. So that will give them a cushion. So now, because we are moving into a world where it is more about individuals and their passion and skills, because we have technology to create and pursue whatever we want. So what people do is that they try to cover every subject equally well. They don't develop deeper interest in one or two key areas. Even though they end up with a very good CGPA, they're not very good with anything. So that is my observation, and I think industry observation as well. Those who don't care about the CGPA and all, but they are very good with few things, industry recognizes, and they get lots of opportunities. And it actually helps in UPSC also, where in the interview they can mention this. So, for example, quantum computing, for example, computer science graduates, it is, though it is not there in the syllabus, I don't know if maybe there, may not be there. They can start developing passion for it. There are lots of podcasts, lots of development. Bangalore scientists, they have developed a quantum chip named Kaveri. Okay, how are they able to develop? Because it requires lots of forward and backward linkages. From where did they get supplies and key technologies? Who are the minds? Because they came from foreign countries and settled here. So when they have developed that passion, they will hire this guy. And in the interview, I can talk about, he can mention in the detailed application form, you know, gaining advanced knowledge with respect to quantum computing or quantum chips. So then the panel will be so much interested, and either way, it works very well for the candidate.
I think many of our students will heave a sigh of relief to understand that grades are not that important for this one.
Correct.
On the similar lines, has any branch of engineering got an edge over others, or is it the same scenario?
Okay. So, ma'am, what I think is that a branch of engineering which creates lots of self-discipline in the candidate. That is very important, because when they graduate, after that, what saves them, what helps them in securing rank is the strict self-discipline. That regimen where they were forced to work in a very limited time, and lots of disciplined environment with lots of intensity. So that will help them have a single-minded focus, irrespective of which branch of engineering. If the same kind of hectic schedule was there in computer science or civil, it helps. But per se, any discipline, it doesn't have anything to do with UPSC. But if they have a longer vision, let us say they want to work in the department of ITBT, right? So they can go with biotechnology or computer science or AML or computer science ML. Uh, with passion, they should choose any branch of engineering, and they can choose that specialization as an IAS officer in the future, and they can excel. There have been good number of officers who have done that and who have contributed immensely.
Okay. For somebody like me who don't know much about UPSC, just can you give me us an overview about how an UPSC examination would be?
Okay.
Uh,
So this UPSC is a constitutional body, Union Public Service Commission. Every year it conducts lots of examination for lots of departments. Basically, to build our country, we need executive. So we need bureaucracy. So for that, it conducts examination, selects purely based on the merit, and we have reservation, but within that, through merit only, one has to clear the exam. Now, civil services examination every year it is conducted. Whether there is war, whether there is COVID, doesn't matter. There is certainty that today I know next year on which date prelims is going to be conducted, mains is going to be conducted. It is in the month of May 26 around. Again, mains exam is in the August, and then the result once prelims happens within 15 days, prelims result is announced every year. Once mains happens, within 65 days, mains result is announced. And within 1 month, they conduct interview. Within the when the interview ends, within 5 to 6 days, the final result is announced. So this is very precise, and every year it happens. Now there are two papers in the preliminary examination. The first stage is the preliminary examination. There are two papers. One is general studies paper. Second one is the civil services aptitude test. It is called CSAT. Both are for 200 marks. CSAT paper is qualifying in nature, that they just have to get 66.6 and above in the second CSAT paper out of 200. It has 50% questions related to English comprehension or Hindi comprehension. Unfortunately, they give only English and Hindi question. If somebody is from Kannada medium or Telugu medium, they don't have Telugu Kannada question. So they have to be good with the either English or Hindi. Another 50% questions are basic reasoning and maths and numeracy skills, data interpretation. So what we call quantitative aptitude. So around 80 questions will be there. They say it is up to 10th standard, but it is more advanced than the 10th standard, both the English and the reasoning. So they should have sound practice with respect to that. The basics must be strong. Paper 1 out of 200 marks, it is about history of India and the world, geography of India and the world, Indian polity, governance, social issues, general science, environmental issues, and all these general awareness, whatever things happening around us, all general studies related topics will be there, and both the paper are objective in nature, multiple choice questions. The cutoff in paper 1 is we say 90 plus or 100 plus is the safest score. 1 year cutoff was 75.4, 2023. Next year it went to around 786 or something out of 200. So once you are crossed this cutoff, you are called for the mains examination, and mains 9 papers are there, and all are descriptive essay type questions. Among them, 2 language papers, one compulsory English, that is for everyone, whether you are from Kannada medium, Hindi medium, and you must score minimum 75 plus marks. And there is one language of your choice. It can be Kannada, Telugu, Sanskrit. Unfortunately, in Karnataka, people don't learn Karnataka anymore. They learn Hindi or Sanskrit in Kendriya Vidyalaya, Central School, international schools. So they can go, if not Kannada, they can go with any language. There also 75 plus is the minimum. So once they have scored 75 plus, then only remaining 7 papers are evaluated. Otherwise, other 7 papers are not evaluated if they fail in one of these 2 papers. If they fail in language, the subject papers are not evaluated. Now, out of 7 papers, 2 belong to optional. Paper 1, paper 2. Optional, there are around 35 optional subjects, starting with physics, chemistry, maths, botany, zoology, and civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. From engineering, we have 3. And then we have all humanities like sociology, political science, psychology, we have public administration, geography, anthropology. So this is for 500 marks, 2 papers, 250 plus 250. So I said 7 papers along with the 2 language papers. Now 2 are optional. Remaining 5 papers, 1 is essay paper and 4 are general studies papers. So all for 250 marks. 7 into 250, it is 1750 marks. Out of 1750, the cutoff is 729 in mains examination. If you score 729 plus, you are called for the interview. And if you score 800 plus, you are going to be in top 100. And then interview is for 275. Now the ratio is around 5 lakh people write in prelims, and around 13 to 14,000 people write mains. And among them, again, it is further filtered, and 2,500 give the interview for 180 IAS posts, 200 IPS posts. The success rate is 0.04, at the end of the examination. But there is a way forward. And as I said, interview out of 275, they give highest 215 marks. But whereas in general studies paper, in essay paper, out of 250, highest is somewhere around 140. It is very difficult to score 150 plus. But whereas, like the way we are having conversation, if the candidate is good, the knowledge base is good, the critical analytical thinking is good, and they have understood the world around them really well, they know how to apply their concepts really well, and they have got clear cut opinions about all the contentious, controversial issues. So then those candidates are given 200 plus in the interview. Interview score plus main scores, they are combined together, and then the final list is prepared. So that cutoff is somewhere around 940 or something. Anybody who scores 800 plus in mains and 175 plus in the interview, they 100% get IAS or IPS or Indian Foreign Service also. So this is the broad overview of the examination.
Sounds very comprehensive. And so,
Okay.
what is the most difficult part in all of this? Is it the prelims?
The most difficult part depends on the candidate, but overall, if you ask, prelims is the very difficult part nowadays. It used to be easy earlier times because it was meant to be a screening test. It used to be easy, basic, and now it has become very applied, analytical, and they test the comprehensiveness of your knowledge, correct understanding of the concepts. Earlier, it used to be some factual questions and all before 2011, and but now the questions really test application of mind, presence of mind, because non-serious students are thoroughly eliminated. So within that, they want to choose through prelims also. Not only they want to test knowledge, they also want to test the personality also. Now there are students who prepare so well for the exam, and on the day of preliminary examination, they become very nervous, anxious, and they become irrational. They become so conscious. They make silly mistakes. They're all personality traits that you have to be mentally tough. Even in that situation, you have to perform very clearly, with clarity, with calmness. So because as an administrator tomorrow, as an IAS, IPS officer, you are getting into a very chaotic system in India, especially. Every day is a challenge. Every day there is a protest. Every day there is political interference. Every day there are bigger challenges to address and solve. Lots of meetings, protocols, lots of social interactions, quick decisions to make. For example, Bangalore, the stampede situation happened during IPL when RCB won. So, as an IPS officer, as a Bangalore commissioner, you have to make quick decisions. So, they test these things in all three stages of the examination thoroughly in the interview, but indirectly in prelims and mains as well. Many aspirants don't realize this factor. They think they take it as a knowledge test. They prepare very well all polity, economy. They think that they have remembered every concept and facts, and they can just go on. Now the questions are totally different, unexpected. So how you are handling, that's very important.
So for engineering students, amongst the optional courses that you were mentioning, is there something that will be beneficial for them if they take a few courses as their optional courses, or
many computer science students go with the mathematics as their optional because they are good with mathematics, I believe. I've seen many, we have the trend from the past, and somebody, if they have done really well in mechanical, civil or electrical, they go with that. But generally we don't recommend engineering subjects because majority start preparing after the graduation. Now after the graduation, you are going to spend 2, 3, 4 years into preparation. Now if you take mechanical or civil, every day 4 to 5 hours, again you have to read, remember lots of stuff. And moreover, you are poor in the general studies. You have to spend that time strengthening your general studies base. So that is why we recommend them go with the sociology, political science, even Kannada literature or Telugu literature, whichever language of their choice. Social, like these subjects can be handled really well. But if somebody is passionate about these subjects, they should have completed during the graduation days itself. If they want to take mechanical, complete mechanical optional according to UPSC syllabus during graduation. So then you can take, if again solve previous year paper, see where you stand. Maths also, very time consuming, but it's a rewarding optional. They should have completed it thoroughly during graduation days. After graduation, if they want to balance maths and GS suffers, and the overwhelmingly the exam is in favor of these humanity subjects, and engineering and medical students don't come equipped with that kind of knowledge and thinking.
So I was reading the other day, there are like a lot of engineering students giving CAT exams now.
Mm.
And so is the case with UPSC. There are a lot of engineers and medical students all of a sudden. We have so many success stories in our campus as well. So why there is a need for engineers and doctors now to be, giving such exams and,
Okay. So, ma'am, during COVID situation, the government realized that we also need administrators who are also doctors. So that was the time it was exposed weaknesses in our health governance, in general the governance, because people without medical knowledge, knowledge about health care, the health structure, health system, they were unable to interact with the doctors, coordinate with doctors, coordinate with health care workers, and get the things done fast. Similarly, now we are living in a very technology driven world. Everywhere we are talking about integrating AI technologies in governance, in health, in education, everywhere. Now we need officers who have sound knowledge about these also. So earlier there was a trend, if you're a generalist, you could do all the work. So you needed to have knowledge about everything to some extent. But now UPSC is looking for engineers. That's why I said passionate engineers with some domain knowledge, and similarly doctors, if they have very good sound knowledge of healthcare models, if they have sound knowledge of how to deal with non-communicable diseases or communicable diseases, or if they are into understanding cancer research or any epidemics. So now UPSC rewards such candidates in the interview by testing their knowledge thoroughly. So that is why engineers and doctors have a bright future and bright career, where they can continue to have their engineering skills tested in real time in a very socio cultural, political, economic conditions in the real world. That is something very exciting, and these jobs come with lots of power, responsibility, and authority, where you have discretion. So as a district collector, you have lots of freedom to implement your ideas, bring lots of social changes. So I think doctors, engineers, definitely they have advantage, but they should be very good with the chosen academic field as well. So then only they are valuable here.
Sir, you were mentioning about the technology now interfering everywhere, and the buzzword is AI, disrupting everything. So, how do you see this as, as a boon to the UPSC, scenario, or
Okay. So that's a very interesting question, ma'am, because we are seeing nowadays students using AI to write essays,
correct?
and now what happens? Lots of aspirants come, and everyone is not virginal, and everyone is not serious. Sometimes some people want to pretend that they are intelligent. Now what they do, they generate answer and essay from the AI, and they come and show us that it is they have written these essays and answer because of they want to get appreciation or something. It is self cheating, self defeat. So AI is kind of influencing this behavior. That's very dangerous. But those who are smart, they know how to make use of the artificial intelligence. It is to generate leads, certain generates few ideas, just to stimulate their own thought process, stimulate their own original thinking. You may need little push. So then if there is a essay topic, they might just ask a question, how this essay can be interpreted differently. And any chosen LLM will tell you, okay, this can be interpreted 3 4 ways. Close it. Now you don't further ask any question like, okay, for this interpretation, how are you going to write? You should not ask. Now they got the interpretations. Now it has provoked their thinking. So based on that, so they should start developing ideas for each interpretation and then try to write originally. And after writing it, They can validate. They can ask ChatGPT, no, right. Now they can compare. My human thinking, was it better than the ChatGPT thinking? If it thinks better and gives further things in a better way, in the next trial, when they write next essay or answer, they can implement this again without taking the help of the AI. So it should just complement their preparation, but it is actually complicating and help making them lose originality. And if you ask LLM any question, more or less it gives 90% same response to everyone for the same topic. Now, if everyone copies the same content in every answer, every essay, as a mentor and evaluator, when I see, let us say, 100 essays, if 90% have written similar ideas, similar example, all of them will lose miserably because we are going to give below average marks to everyone. So 10% who have put invested their own human brain, human thinking, they will stand out as original, and they will be rewarded. So I think those who do not take help of the AI significantly, just use it complementarily, invest their own thinking, are going to be rewarded handsomely in coming years in the examination. In India, we have herd mentality. Anything
Yeah.
that comes to our rescue, we use it, and we lose it. Yes.
So I was just, thinking about the way they would evaluate the essays, because we evaluate answer scripts and we know how difficult it is. But
Mm.
then, how do you differentiate? Because there will be some points which will be mentioned by one aspirant, and the other person would be completely, different in the way he expresses itself himself. So how will you differentiate between two essays and say this essay is better than the other one?
One, based on the originality. First, what happens? Writing is a creative exercise. So, if somebody has developed their own original way of writing, it will be very much evident the moment I start reading it. So, there will be a bit of sense of humor, maybe a healthy sarcasm. We have something called figures of speech in English. So, their application, their use correctly, in the right context. So, that would have come because of the long term writing habit. So if there are two essay, we try to identify this first. Secondly, choice of examples. They will be more original in original essays, in the sense that the person would have read lots of extra books, lots of extracurricular activities, lots of life experiences. They will also be reflected, and we many students lack the ability to uh, extract ideas from their own experiences and life. They don't link experiences with certain ideas and concept, so that they don't know how to use their own observations also. So anybody who has developed these skills, we will see the individual stamp in the essay, that okay, this essay belongs to this individual because he's a sum of all his experiences, choices, that is reflected. But whereas another mediocre or not so good essay, it is copied and pasted. All topper copies, they get examples from everyone, and they generate from chat gpt. And if somebody has made a YouTube video about how to write essay, if they're given some example, they will copy. If some textbook has recommended some example, they will copy. No extra effort. So it can be easily distinguished. Like just mere glance will tell us which is the uh, waste essay or worst essay or bad essay, or which is the best essay or good essay.
So clearly, I think we as engineers, would require a lot of effort in this, because,
Correct.
all we are concentrating were all this while was PCM, and
Technical,
then
mostly
yeah,
technical
and
knowledge.
then English. In plus two, what importance you would have
Correct.
given to plus two English, or even languages for that matter. So I think that is
No,
where
they should visit your library. I'm sure in your library there are novels, there
yes,
are good
yes.
magazines, newspapers. They should at least spend 1 to 2 hours in the library, uh, read all these books and knowledges. And interesting podcasts are coming up nowadays. Podcast by people who have won Nobel Prize in literature, people who have won Nobel Prize in peace or economics. And if you listen to them for half an hour to 1 hour, it is equivalent to reading 1 or 2 books, because they bust with lots of ideas, new perspectives. So I think by developing better taste, we can show originality in answers and in our conversations wherever we go.
So anything that you feel is critical for an engineering graduate to be aware of, to write UPSC exams, sir, according to you, that you have seen in all these years?
They should understand the demand and depth of the examination early, before they start, because people start without looking at the notification, without understanding the nature of the examination. Somebody tells, okay, read NCERT newspaper, they keep doing that. But is it according to the demand of the examination? Once they understand, I gave the overview of the examination, some people will not be aware of that also. So basics are very important. So the what is critical is the basics. They tend to ignore basics and then they jump to what is there in the market, what is available, what is seen. So that is one important, and making optional is very key to success. Wrong optional will destroy your attempts, because you are with wrong company, and you try to achieve success with it, but it is not yielding the result. There is a cognitive bias called sunk cost fallacy. We have pursued something for so long that we don't want to go back on it. You have invested energy, money, resources, everything. So they choose something bad. It can be UPSC journey itself. We don't know. They may not like. It happens with many. One attempt, two attempt. They will go on till 6, 7, 9 attempt also sometimes. Uh, Also, second thing is they should know till what length of time, till when they have to give the examination. So these are very critical, because if you don't come with clarity on this, you will lose all your knowledge of engineering. You will lose all your skills, and after 3 4 years what happens, you cannot go back to this domain. You have to acquire something new in the process to do something new. So for that, I recommend after 2 years of investment, either go for higher education, where they might have developed new passion, maybe law, maybe public policy. IITs offer public policy. They can go with that. They can go to like Harvard, Stanford. They can apply. They can go to some of the best global MBA colleges also, or maybe they can go work in startup and parallelly prepare for the examination.
So 2 years you think is good time to
Yeah, two
test your
years
waters and see
exactly.
whether you are
Uh,
good or not.
yes.
Okay. So I was learning that there are about 250 plus success stories in your institute.
Okay.
So which is your favorite one, sir?
There are many favorite ones. From my first batch, there was one candidate. Her name is Neha Kumari, and when I started with a handful of students, around 35 to 40 students. On my blog, I had given this. I had written an article that I wanted to start offline batch in Bengaluru, and luckily the blog had all India presence by then. We got requests from all over India. I got some 35 to 36 students, and they came and started taking training in Bengaluru, in Vijayanagar. After 1 week, I got a mail by one girl, Neha Kumari. She was working in Tata Steel. She was graduate from BITS Pilani, and she was already earning very good salary, more than 1 lakh, I think. And she wrote a very passionate email that I'm dedicated, disciplined. I need a very good mentor, and I have seen your feedback on the website, and I believe Insights is the place where I can definitely get a rank, and I assure you that I'm going to get a rank in one attempt. So I said, looking at the passion in the email, I said, okay, you immediately pack and come. But she had a dilemma: should I resign and should I take a leave? I said, that is up to you. If you have this much confidence, resign and come. So without giving notice or anything, she came here, and after coming here, she sent resignation also. When she came, it was around 5:30 p.m. in the evening. With her father, she came, and I was conducting General Studies 4. We were discussing. It is called ethics test, and the students were writing ethics test in the classroom. And she landed, and she said, "Sir, I have come. I'll start from tomorrow." I said, "This is ethics test. No need to prepare, prior to this. It doesn't require prior subject knowledge. Why don't you go and write the test?" Without blinking eye, she grabbed some papers, took a pen, and she went and wrote for 1.5 hours that test. So then and there, I knew that I got very good candidate, and she was so focused, so disciplined. she came on that day. She went back home only after 1 month of the final result, where she got All India rank 26 in her very first attempt. Every day, even when she had fever, she would come and write the test. And I have never seen that kind of dedication even after that also. But I've seen smart individuals, and we have got All India rank 5 3 years later. 2 years later, we got All India rank 1, Nandini Kiar. And for all of them, I personally mentored and guided and helped them improve essay skills, answer writing skills. So Nandini Kiar, who got All India rank 1, she came with lots of extracurricular and lots of uh, literature knowledge. And she had a very matured thinking, highly disciplined, and one quality that distinguished her was her constant willingness to learn from everyone, every minute. She would ask questions, she would learn from everyone. She would, though she knew everything, so humble, and she was like didn't know anything. And then it reflected in every stage the kind of quality she brought, and she got All India rank 1. So that is when our institution actually grew up really well, because of her rank 1 and our guidance also. And then another interesting case study, All India rank 5, Jaydev. He was from National Law School, and he was one of the most brilliant individuals I came across, more brilliant than myself, all our faculties combined, I can say, because he had that much debating skills, and he had published papers in the international law journals. He had a legal blogging hobby, and they were terrific. And he was topper, I guess, in national. I'm not sure about, but he was one of the very brilliant guys. Though he knew he was very brilliant, and he used to read at least 2 books every week, various authors, fiction, non-fiction. He joined our classroom program, and from day one, he never pretended to know so many things. Never, he was so humble, and he knew that when it comes to UPSC, I'm zero, and it is Vinay sir and the faculty here who knows more about it. And you would come as obedient student, you would show his answers, and you would take the important quality was taking feedback constructively, positively, never with any arrogance, never questioning it. Even if you doubted it, the way he was verifying, asking was, how would it help me, right? How is it going to really help me improve or something, in a very positive way. You would engage in conversation. And we knew that he was going to get All India rank 1. I was very happy that he was going to be my second All India rank 1, but he had law optional. There, I think some another 15-20 marks he missed All India rank 1. So nonetheless, he was almost equivalent to rank 1. He got All India rank 5. So his junior next year, 2 years later, came from our very own Davangere. His name is Avinash Rao, because Jaydev's result had motivated him. He came to Insights and joined the classroom program. In his very first attempt, he got All India rank 37, I think, and then he got Indian Foreign Service. He also similar, so well read, so much knowledge, humility, obedience, and discipline, and lots of self belief. So I think these four are most cherished and successful stories, because they each of them displayed certain key qualities that any UPSC aspirant, for that matter, anyone who wants to succeed in life, should have ingrained, integrated in their personality.
Very interesting, sir. It's interesting that you mentioned some of the personality traits like being humble and obedient. Do you think it will carry weightage in the way they present themselves in an interview setup? And
So there is a fine balance they have to make in the interview, because too much of humility will make it look like submissiveness. Sometimes maybe they are anxious also. It They have to be very confident, at the same time they have to be humble also. It's a fine balance. If they are like overconfident, it may look like bit of arrogance. If they are too humble, it might look like submissiveness. So that balance they have to develop. You can be very confident in your life, but at the same time humility in terms of how you respect the individual with whom you are interacting, how you respect their opinion, how you listen to them. Because sometimes when if I am asking a question, if you are asking a question, the way I respond to that question, that also shows humility. And the way I respect your opinion. So that also shows humility. And not only in UPSC interview, I think
Yes,
humility uh, is must wherever, because through humility only we keep learning.
sure.
I think the humility is a foundation where we realize that we we have to learn so much. We don't know anything. So the and also these are elderly people in UPSC interview. In India, respect for elders is a very
Yes.
fundamental value for culture. And I think through humility, when we respect with lots of knowledge and confidence, they are really rewarded well.
So, I
Nowadays, that is missing. What I observe is that people become
um,
so arrogant with little success, with little knowledge, and we see in colleges, we see
yes.
in. I think that is not good.
Part of it also goes without saying that the way they are brought up also, they're a single child and they are
Okay.
entitled for everything, so probably that makes up for most
Hmm.
of I mean, at least that is what I see as the
Okay.
difference in the college students
No,
nowadays.
they won't go very far in life. That won't take very far. To some extent, they might achieve success, but eventually, what happens? Life teaches them humility in some manners. Some people are equipped to handle that situation. Today, I was reading Rohit Sharma story in the Hindu. He has admitted after the defeat in the last World Cup, he was so disappointed. It took 2 months to
Recover
recover
from that.
from the failure. So life, I'm not saying he was arrogant and humble, but life in an unexpected way teaches humility.
So this is just out of curiosity. So the moment when somebody enters your coaching institute, will you be able to make the differentiation with interaction that yes, this person can make it through, and
Mhm.
probably some of them won't, and they're
Okay.
just wasting their time.
With again, that's a very interesting question. What I have developed over a period of year, uh, over many years, is that to believe in everyone. It takes many years for someone. It may take few years for someone, and we cannot differentiate, judge. But based on personality traits, even if they are from, let us say, Kannada medium, government first grade college, sometimes certain personality traits makes us believe that they can definitely crack. It is not the college or the degree or the percentages. But sometimes we see huge potential instantly also. But sometimes they also fail eventually. It is choices they make. It is a long journey, basically. In the beginning, we can see the promise, but how they conduct themselves, because it's a long journey, lots of patience is required, perseverance is required, and you have to. They will face lots of setbacks and failures. How you handle them, we cannot see them instantly, because what we see is okay, from IIT or RV college, computer science, had got good package but didn't join, uh, good brilliant academic record, extracurricular also. We see promise that if correctly guided and molded, definitely, but internally their psychology we are not aware in the future how it is, because what happens here is that many people come under the pressure of I am not employed, others are employed, my batchmates they're all working very well, they went to do MS to best universities in US or UK. So something like this, parents expectations, how you are going to handle them, ultimately it rewards. But there are very rarely one or two cases will be there where we can clearly tell they cannot crack this examination, but we will never tell them. What we tell them is that you prepare for UPSC, try to become an IAS. You can actually become. We try to motivate them, but in the end, our belief is that at least they can get into some government jobs by having UPSC knowledge. If not UPSC, they can crack KPSC, PDO exam, any bank exam. So our duty is to believe in everyone with right opportunity, platform, right guidance. We never know, uh, anybody can surprise us.
So tomorrow, if I join Insights IAS, how
Mm.
will my next 2 years look like?
So it's very hectic. At least 14 hours everyday preparation is required, and most of the aspirants are not equipped with that. During examination, they may read like that 12, 14 hours. But non-examination days, non-internal days, I don't think they go back and study in their room. 2 years every day, we recommend them to take 1 day break in a week. At least go for a movie, go to theater, watch something. But 6 days in a week, minimum 12 hours preparation every day. Divide that between current affairs, reading newspapers, optional subject, general studies paper, and then, as I said, CSAT paper. So there are broadly 4 divisions. So optional and general studies will require more time. Let us say out of 12 hours, 5 hours each, 1 hour for current affairs, 1 hour for CSAT. And as you move forward, you will have to include answer writing practice, lots of tests. Uh, it is all going to be very hectic and stressful in a. The reason is that you have to self motivate every day. Here it is, you are not doing it for any university certificate, not out of fear of attendance, not out of fear of any internal examination. This is a long term goal of you, your dream. You are chasing your dream, which is uncertain. That there is no certainty that you're definitely going to get after completing 2 years. So you have to keep doing. So 2 years hectic, that is where the personality comes into picture. So if you're mentally strong, self-disciplined, in 2 years, 100% you can crack the examination. That I can definitely assure you, because we have the means, we have the resources, we know, we have seen very closely All India rank 1, All India rank 5, All India rank 3. Every year we have someone or the other coming from our classroom program in at least top 20, top 30. We have seen them very closely. So 2 years can make or break, but depends on the individuality.
So how do you keep them motivated on a daily basis? Like if something is
Uh,
going to happen.
we recommend them to come and meet us at least once in a week. At least in the they can come and show essay and have a pep talk, general talk. We have a strong mentorship program. Like we have so many mentors, including toppers, faculties, everyone. Uh, they should come and talk to us. While talking to them, we realize how they are performing, how they are improving, what mistakes are they making. This is another problem with the education system in India, that our students do not have that mentality or patience to approach others for the help, approach others for the guidance. They want to do it by themselves, everything. Now they have technology. This is very dangerous. Earlier you asked about AI question, so that is very dangerous. Technology will not give the human touch, will not give human insights. Our intuition will tell you that there is something wrong in the way you're preparing. The technology will never tell you that. So uh, the way we motivate them is that success is certain in a way. It can be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but you have to live in the moment. You have to give your best in the moment without worrying about the outcome. So I have a famous dialogue: we can focus on the process, not on the outcome. So it is our timeless knowledge from our Bhagavad Gita, our epics, our Advaita principle, focusing on the moment. So what we call mindfulness currently, that is what. So one day at a time, one moment at a time is the best way forward. When there is good intention in what you are doing, when there is lots of honesty in what you are doing, when there is no pretension, so then the result will naturally happen, and it is going to be stress free also. So this is how we motivate our students.
So it is true when we read about the toppers of IAS telling that we are away from social media for
Definitely. Yes.
and no phones for 2 years. So it's all true stories then.
Yes, ma'am. I was talking about Nandini Kyar. Even today, she doesn't have any social media account. Then also she didn't have. Now also she do not have. Similarly, Neha Kumari and all. Majority toppers I know, they stayed away from all distractions, and they had this single-minded focus. First, you achieve this, then they get everything, whatever they want. But again, some are even more focused after this success. They want to do well in the service. They want to move up the ladder in service. There also they are focused. So it depends on individual to individual. But it is better to, you don't require all these things. YouTube, just to listen to good podcast and maybe concepts. Otherwise, all Instagram, Facebook, you don't require them for your basic preparation. Better to deactivate those accounts and focus. If you are bored, you can read books, buy books, magazines, and listen to good music, watch movies also, good movies. That is also fine.
So looks like the underlying answer for everything is to read, and everything that
Enrich oneself.
yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I think that is where probably we have to start. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
sir. So we had a very nice, insightful talk. Pun
Thank,
intended.
thank you, ma'am.
So very nice talking to you. I learned a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, for helping me come here to your prestigious college, and helping me, share our views from our insights and myself. And I hope this will benefit not only aspirants but also parents and those who are interested in these examinations.
There are a lot of parents like me, for example, who
Okay.
would want a future for our kids, and probably there are a lot of parents also watching. And off late, we've had very good success stories with respect to UPSC, candidates coming out of RVCE, and I hope this will be a starting point for them. They can
Yes.
watch this podcast and understand a lot of things about UPSC, and I'm sure you are there for us to help us in every step for going forward.
Yes, ma'am. We have personally guided many RV students, and the success rate is high with RV students. And they're very disciplined. They listen to us. We hope to get more such students from
Sure.
RV and other good institutions. And in our institution, we have this open door policy. When we come to institution, we don't ask you to join any course or anything. You can freely sit in few classes, take demo classes. You can come and interact with us, and then get your doubts resolved. And you can go back also. We don't call you back, we don't force you, we don't do the marketing or anything. So it's all about individual will. If you like us, if you like our guidance, we welcome them to come and join, and then we do thorough justice to their expectations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
very
Thank you.
much for being at RVCE today.